On today's edition of 60 Minutes, we will be covering a relatively new and extremely exciting activewear company called Lululemon. Lululemon was founded in Vancouver in 1998 in the pursuit of manufacturing high-quality technical athletic apparel for yoga, running, training, and other sweaty pursuits. They have grown immensely since that time, becoming one of the most popular brands among young and old athletes alike across the world. Today, we are fortunate enough to have with us analysts, executives, and yogis alike to discuss the future and value of this ever-changing company. We will begin by having our resident market expert, Kunal, field questions from a few viewers. Let's take a look.
My mission is simple, to make you money. Mad Money starts now.
My name's Kunal. Welcome to Mad Money. Today, we'll be fielding a couple questions from our viewers. Our first question coming from Kat.
Hi, Kunal. Thanks for taking my call. I was just wondering, why Lululemon? What makes it such a good investment?
That's a great question, Kat. Lululemon is one of the companies that I've tried to tell everyone to invest in. The thing that makes Lulu stand out is their ability to reach so many different types of customers, which is why their products are so highly demanded. The fact of the matter is Lululemon is growing at a fast pace and it's expanding throughout the world. Just recently, the company announced their Power of Three strategic plan, which consists of product innovation, omni-guest experiences, and market expansion. The omni-guest experiences in particular is something that I believe will only increase Lulu's brand recognition. Overall, they're an investment which is stable and it has the ability to provide highly expected returns to its potential investors. Thank you for your question. Now, let's hear from our next caller, Keith.
Appreciate you for taking time out of your day to answer my question. And so I would just like to ask, Lululemon has quickly become one of the bigger, hotter companies in the retail sector. And so I was just wondering, in your opinion, what do you think that they do differently from other companies such as Under Armour that may seem to be facing difficult times right now?
Great question. Well, the primary difference that stands out is that Lululemon controls all their stores and website sales, whereas companies such as Under Armour, they've taken a different approach by relying on outside retailers to sell their products. Due to the pandemic currently, these outside retailers are not open to the public, which has particularly impacted Under Armour as they have lost a significant amount of their revenue. To put it simply, Lululemon is just more flexible, and it has a stronger e-commerce presence, whereas Under Armour simply does not have that. This is one of the reasons why Lululemon has not been hit that significantly by the pandemic, and their numbers are still doing well. Thank you for your question, Keith. All right, we have time for one more caller today. Our last question will be from Selem.
Hi, thank you for taking my call. I was just wondering what Lulu's growth has looked like in the past and how you expect that to change in coming years.
Well, Lulu has been consistently growing for the past 5 years. I believe their revenue increased by around 17% between that time period. Although I know everyone is super concerned about the coronavirus and how it's affecting retail companies, the bottom line is Lululemon will rebound nicely and their revenue will likely go towards their average within the next couple of years and probably exceed that. Lululemon also has strong management and a strong executive team, which has repeatedly stated that they do not plan on any sort of restructuring in the near future. As I said in the prior question asked, they're just more flexible, and this flexibility will lead to their continued growth and success. Thank you for your question. This concludes our segment of Mad Money for today. Thank you for listening, everyone. Now back to Adam from 60 Minutes.
Thanks, Kunal, for providing all of those insightful answers. In this next section, we have the opportunity to hear from a yoga instructor who is passionate about the brand.
I'm Kat, an experienced yoga instructor at a local studio called Flow Yoga. Lululemon has helped refine my yoga practice and develop my leadership skills, so I can continue teaching others about yoga. A year ago, I signed up to become a sweat ambassador for Lulu, and since then, I have been able to try out new products and gain access to a tight-knit group of individuals, brought together by a love of activity. The most rewarding part about my experience is having access to an active community for support and experience. I want to open up my own yoga practice one day, and Lulu has offered to coach me in business management and even give me a personal development course. If it's one thing I've learned so far, it's that they truly care. As for their active wear, I wear it every time I teach a class, and I have to say, the quality, flexibility, and innovative nature of their sweat-wicking fabric is the best of its kind. Especially when I teach hot yoga, where classes can heat up to over 100 degrees, I need to ensure my yoga materials are sturdy enough to handle a workout and the quick temperature fluctuations. But with Lululemon, I know I never need to worry. Even during this uncertain time, Lulu has let me teach several of their online yoga classes while our local studio's down. which shows how much they care about authentic relationships and building up fellow yogis. Overall, I don't know where I would be in my yoga practice without Lululemon.
That was great to hear from Kat and her experience with the brand. Next, we will have our analyst discuss some specific financial information about the company.
We have a special treat. Fangdi, financial analyst with Morel Private Wealth, and Paula, an investment analyst with RBC Wealth Management, here with us to discuss Lululemon's growth. We're going to start with Fangdi, who strongly believes now is the time to invest in Lululemon. Fangdi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I love any chance to talk about Lululemon. Just an incredible company that is growing like wildfire. We are seeing it happen, and they have the number to back it up.
And we have Paula, who agrees they're growing now, but how long is that sustainable?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I see that they're doing well, but I just don't see that lasting. Their demand isn't sustainable. Their supply chain isn't sustainable. Their revenue growth didn't even hit 20% annual growth for most of the past decade.
Actually, Lululemon has a 3-year annualized earning growth rate of 36% and sales growth rate of 24%. Not to mention their new Power 3 plan to grow its annual revenue by the low double digits over the next 5 years. They plan to double their men's and digital revenue and quadruple their international revenue by the end of 2023.
The next question is going to go back to you, Fangdi. The question on everyone's mind right now is coronavirus. How do we expect Lulu to weather the storm of a global pandemic?
Okay, coronavirus is a disaster to the retail industry, but I believe Lululemon is uniquely positioned to survive COVID-19. First off, as a company, they're ready for the hit. Lulu's biggest asset is their liquidity. They have more than $1 billion in cash. That is without debt. Not to mention their revolving credit facility of up to $400 million. And it's not just financials. They are the new home office uniform, and those consumers have the discretionary spending.
Let's face it, the coronavirus pandemic has absolutely destroyed the retail sector. Lululemon can spend millions innovating their online digital sales, but the fact is, people are either unemployed or underemployed. At times of economic uncertainty, consumers are not willing to splurge on high-end products like a pair of yoga pants retailed at over $100.
Okay, I'm going to go back to you, Paula. Some say it's a stretch to compare Lulu to a company like Nike or Adidas. Do you agree?
Absolutely. For those that feel that Lululemon is a better investment than other big retailers such as Nike or Under Armour, where have you been? Lulu targets only higher income individuals with a focus on women, while brands like Nike are worn by all demographics. There is no competition. Lulu's future is uncertain and their stock is way overvalued. Invest in other sports apparel companies such as Nike that remain a solid long-term investment.
Lululemon's core business for women continues to grow, but the company has also expanded it successfully into the men's category. People want Lulu, and Under Armour just doesn't have the brand appeal. Not to mention, Lulu is a stronger company. Their profit margin is more than 5% higher than both Under Armour and Nike. By far, Lulu is a far better investment to make. Our projections show double-digit revenue growth for the foreseeable future. Lulu is strong, the brand and the company.
Fangdi, I'm sold. Thank you both for joining me today. Now back to Adam with 60 Minutes.
For our final segment today, I will be interviewing Lululemon CEO Calvin McDonald. Prior to becoming the head of one of the fastest growing apparel companies in the world in 2018, McDonald was the president and CEO of Sephora America from 2013 to 2018. Mr. McDonald, thank you for joining us today. First, let me ask the question that's on everyone's mind. How is your company handling this current global pandemic crisis?
First, I'd just like to say thank you for having me, Adam. Honestly, the company is doing quite well in light of recent circumstances. Although many of our stores have closed, we are still selling a lot of our merchandise effectively through our website and online. And so our main priority is to keep our employees safe, and we plan to keep our stores closed until we see things get substantially better. While we are anxious to get back on track, these are people's lives at stake, and we do want to be able to maintain health precautions until health experts say it's okay to open. And although we are projecting that our growth revenue might fall a little, like in this next fiscal year, we do believe that we still will be able to reach our goals within our next 5 years of projections. And overall, things could be better, but we're just hoping that society can recover from all of this and that everything can kind of get back to normal.
Well, we're certainly happy to see that you're prioritizing the well-being of your employees. Many companies have recently gone through some kind of restructuring, primarily through laying off some of their workforce. Do you anticipate these kinds of layoffs for your company in the near future?
Yeah, so that's a great question. As I mentioned before, our workers are really our top priority. We have already reduced our senior leadership team's salaries by around 20%, and that is to help us limit any potential layoffs that may be coming up in the future. While we can't promise anything, our overall goal is to keep our workers in our workforce, and as we look to expand in the future post-pandemic, and our overall main goal is to just continue expanding our global footprint, and our workers are really going to be the backbone of that goal.
It's a great point. Our last question for you today is, what do you have to say to your loyal customers that continue to support and buy your products despite what's going on around the world?
Yeah, I would tell them that we're extremely appreciative of their support. We love our customers and we want to keep continuing to provide the best quality products we can for them. Overall, as I've joined Lululemon, I've completely loved this company. I love the culture that they have, the values that we have for our customers. And I've talked to so many people who have told me why they loved our brand, and it completely makes me ecstatic. Our overall goal is to just continue building upon what we already have and to reach as many people as we can. And this can't be done without our customers in the end of the day.
Great to hear. Thank you for joining us today.